Good morning, everyone. Yes, good morning, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Am I audible to you? Hello. Yes, am I audible to all of you? Yes, good morning. Yes, Preeti, good morning. Am I audible to all of you? Loud and clear? Okay. Okay. Yes, where are others? Yes, Nilesh, good morning. Yes. So let me introduce once again that my name is Harshvardhan Singh and I'm here to teach you all the aspects of history including history optional, along with international relation and economics. Unacademy is providing more than 15,000 courses for civil services examination, and those who haven't taken subscription, please take a subscription so that you will get more benefit of it. It is one of the best platform available in India at your doorstep. We have 1 month, 3 month, 6 month and 12-month options. So I insist you to have at least 12-month option. In that we have plus an iconic subscription. In iconic we provide you everything including the personal guidance and study planner as well. Whenever you want to take the admission, please use my code. My code is HARSHV10. This is my code. You will get the 10% discount and you will count it as my students. Okay. So quick recap of last lecture. In the last lecture, we discussed about the Europe. We discussed about Europe after Bismarck. Yes, means in last lecture we discussed about the period from 1890 to 1840. During this period, what happened and all we discussed in the last lecture. Just quick recap of it. I just want to give you. In that lecture, what we mentioned that after Bismarck, France gets the opportunity. So France was alone in 1870, we mentioned. Then France gets the opportunity to have an ally with Russia in 1894. That is known as dual entente. Clear? So we mentioned that the dual entente was there. Then again Britain and France resolved their dispute over Morocco and Egypt that we discussed. Then we mentioned that Japan defeated Russia. Yes, after that France, Britain and Russia became a part of one that is known as Triple Entente. Clear? So this happened in 1907. 1907. So world was divided into two, that is Triple Alliance versus triple entente. Okay, so we discussed this thing. Now, because of this policy of secret alliance, there was a suspicion among the country. This suspicious environment led to armament race, conflict, and even a small issue, a local issue, easily gets converted into international issue. We gave the references of 3 4 things. That is, first Moroccan crisis we mentioned. First Moroccan crisis we mentioned yesterday, what happened and how. Here the French and German rivalry prevails. Then we mentioned that Austria annexed Bosnia and Herzegovina. And why it was so. We mentioned that Turkey is interested because Young Turk movement was there. Along with that, what we mentioned, that Serbia also wants these 2 parts. Okay. Third, we mentioned, that is second Moroccan crisis. This time the problem resolved, but Britain threatened Germany. Clear. So rivalry prevails there. Then we mentioned about the Balkan War, the first Balkan War. Then we mentioned about the second Balkan War. And after that, first and second Balkan War was basically over the issue of Macedonia, and the redistribution of territory leads to conflict that leads to second Balkan War. But the Balkan countries are not only involved in that, the other European country also having vested interest, and most important countries were Austria and Russia. So to whom they support and all we discussed in the last lecture. And the sixth, that is assassination of Austrian prince, and that leads to beginning of First World War. Clear? Yes, Panupriya, good morning. Ashwini, good morning. Okay, sorry. So till this point, we explain. So how the policy of secret alliance works, we already discussed in this class, because as it was their friend in need, friend indeed kind of approach. As the war broke out between Austria versus Serbia, but friends are there. When Austria was engaged with the Serbia, Austria was supported by Germany. Here Serbia was there. Serbia was supported by Russia, then France, then Britain. The same thing with Italy, same thing with Romania. But one small terms and condition is there, and that terms and condition is basically just before the starting of war, Italy shifted their stand. Italy no longer a member of Triple Alliance. Britain convinced Italy, and Italy shifted her stand, and now Italy is a part of Triple Entente. Clear? Don't you think it is going to hurt the sentiment of Germans? It is just like that when you need a friend and your friend is basically not showing any interest, or not showing that that person is your friend when you are in distress. So it is a very hurtful situation, and that situation was there with Germany and Austria, because they considered Italy as their friend nation, but Italy shifted their stand just before starting of First World War for territories. How? Because Britain convinced, what you want? You want colonies. And Germany doesn't have that much. We have the colonies, we are going to provide you the territories. So that's why it's convinced. Okay, let's shift the stand. Okay. So it's a recap of last lecture. Now we are moving towards another part. That is US participation in World War First. A general question to all of you. What do you think why US participated in First World War? Yes, my question to you. Why USA participated in First World War? Means reason. Tell me the reason why USA participated in First World War. What do you think? Why they participated? Yes, everyone? Yes, killing stress since 2020. Oh, what a name. Yes, all boys and girls, very good morning to all of you. And I ask you the question, what do you think? What were the reason because of which USA participated in First World War? Yes, everyone? Yes, everyone? I'm expecting answer from you. How much time you require to answer a simple question? Yes, and those who join me in this lecture only, I am here to conduct the classes of world history, international relation right now, and in the next month I'm going to conduct the history optional classes as well. And in my classes, I strongly believe in two-way communication. Yes, interaction is most important form of learning process. So if you want one-way communication, then you know which channel you have to prefer. But here the two-way communication is required, and while answering the question, do not feel any hesitation that whether it is right or wrong. It doesn't matter to me. I What matters to me that you have to express yourself. Right or wrong, we will going to decide later on. Okay, so please feel free and express your opinion related to any particular question. You can ask me the question and you can reply as well. When you're going to ask the question, it's my duty to answer your queries. Okay. Yes, Ashwini said as US was emerging strong nation state. Oh, all are quite innocent. You don't know about that incident. Everybody know that incident. One US luxury ship was there. Germany destroyed it. Yes, around 1200 people died. Clear? At least I'm expecting this answer. Forget about the other aspects of it. So it is very famous incident that because of that, and everybody is having that misconception that just because of this event, and what I'm saying, just because of this event, US participated in First World War. It was not at all the case. Yes, what Ashwini said is also the part of it. The first important thing, that is trade relation with Europe. Yes, trade relation with the Europe is most important aspect of it. The second most important aspect, the second most important aspect is, yes, Draco said due to the difference in political philosophy. The second most important aspect is US investment in Britain and France. Oh, no one. Okay, let's discuss as no one is really interested to give me the answer. Okay, let's discuss here. So when World Wars broke out in 1914, USA followed the policy of isolation. Means what? To keep safe distance from the war. Why it is so? It's a common policy, it's a common sense that when you don't have any vested interest in any war or any treaty, then why you're going to interfere? That's a common policy. And war always lead to economic distress. Clear? So, in general, US follow the policy of isolation. The opinion of US public is also having the same, that they do not want America to enter into war. One small section of the society, those who are Anglo-American, means those who migrated from Britain and settled in America, they have some sympathy with their previous country. So that's why they suggested that America should take part in two war. But this is not a general assumption or general what opinion of the masses. Clear? So they pursue the policy of isolation. Clear? Another important thing, that is strong position of Germany was a cause of concern for USA. How it is so? Because if Germany is going to emerge a victor, that means Germany is going to establish its monopoly over Europe. The balance of power is going to disturb in Europe, and USA is also emerging economy. Germany is also emerging economy, and they are going to be a potential enemy, opponents. So that's why US is having concern related to Germany. Next important thing, that US had a trade interest in Europe. Always remember, war or USA, if we talking particularly about USA followed the policy of USA always a follow policy of real polity. Real polity. What it means? Real polity means if that particular country is having any vested interest, then only America is going to interfere in anything. If America doesn't have any vested interest, America is not going to take care of anything. Clear? So it was very simple policy followed by America since beginning. Policy of vested interest. If America don't have vested interest, America is not going to interfere in that. Clear? Just a moment. Sorry for interfering. Okay. Yes, the another important aspect related to that, US investment in Britain and France. As I mentioned, it is not a sentimental decision that just by Germany destroyed the US luxury ship and America entered into war. Yes, it is one of the cause, but it is not that much important cause. Other factors were also responsible, and that particular incident is a culmination of that. What we mentioned here, US trade investment in Europe, that is also a matter of concern because it's a profitable trade for them. And if Europe is going to suffer, then America is definitely faces the problem. Okay. Next important thing, that is US investment in Britain and France. And why it is a matter of concern? Because it is visible for USA that France and Britain is on the verge of defeat. Clear? Clear? So they have a fear that Britain and France is going to lose the war, and they gave lots of fund in the form of loan to Britain and France. And suppose if they are going to defeat in this war, then US has to suffer from losses. Clear? So economic factor is always important. Next, Germany pursued a policy to stop US ship to the Britain. As Germany wants to blockade, means Germany wants to impose economic blockade for Britain. Why? Because Britain is having strongest navy of that time, and if they want to defeat Britain, then they have to block the sea route. So that's why Germany pursued the policy to stop US ships to the Britain. Along with that, one more point is also there. Germany pursued one more policy. They provoke Mexico against US. Since Germany stopped the ships, as well as Germany provoked the neighboring state of USA, that is Mexico, against USA. So that is matter of concern for USA. Next, this incident happened, that is Lusitania event. The Lusitania is basically a luxury ship. Lusitania was a luxury ship of USA, and Germany, by mistake, they considered this as a warship, so they by mistake destroyed it. And because of that reason, it was a major reason for USA in participation in the war. That is 1200 US citizens died. 1200 US citizens died. And in USA, they followed the policy of protecting the citizen. As USA is a welfare state, they respect the individual liberty as well as dignity of the masses. So that's why this was a major setback for USA, and it changed the sentiment of masses towards Germany as well as towards World War. Now people are having opinion to take part in First World War, but still it is not a sentimental decision that suddenly they participated in war. No. Then what's exactly the case? As we mentioned, economic factor was there, political factor was there, another factor was there, that is ideological factor was also there. Ideological impediment. What type of ideological impediment was there? Yes. Sorry. Yes. What do you think? What type of ideological impediment, obstacle in the path of USA while participating in First World War? Yes, what do you think? Which ideological impediment we are talking about? Yes, everyone? Yes, come on. Hmm. Ideological impediment? Really? Yes. What do you think? Democracy versus dictatorship. Okay. Hmm. But dictatorship, uh, do you have any example of dictatorship present in that particular war? Means this country is having dictator. Preeti said capitalism. Oh, capitalism. Hmm. I'm happy right now that I asked this question because all of you are having confusion related to this ideological impediment. Ashwini said individual liberty was given immense importance in USA. So, so do you know the meaning of impediment? Impediments means basically obstacle. Means what were the ideological stand adopted by USA which creates the obstacle for USA to take part in the war. At that time, Russia, Germany, Turkey, all were under dictator rule. Maybe. Yes. Yes. How many people are there who are there? Preeti, Nilesh, Bhanupriya. Yes. Healing stress 2020. Yes, I'm expecting answer from all of you. Policy of isolation. Yes, we already mentioned. This is the first step. This is the first stand followed by USA. Policy of isolation. But these stands changes with the time. Do you really think so? If let's take example of India. If any country, any particular country, XYZ maybe, killed Indian citizens, do you really think so? India is going to follow the policy of isolation? No, no, we do not want to take revenge. It is the case? No. Then if it is not the case with the India, how can you say that it will be the case with USA? Just imagine 1200 people died. My question is basically, what do you think, what type of ideological impediment means, which ideological impediment was there which restrict the US participation in First World War? Because all these things means first, second, third, all fourth point. Don't you think right now situation is very favorable for USA to take part? This is the initial policy, very beginning phase. Okay, this is very initial. But after that, these all factors are important. Don't you think which create a background for participation in a war? Yes, these all are favorable factors. And this is an immediate event. This should be the immediate factor. But still, USA didn't take part in World War First. For that, you have to understand the basics. And we are the people who doesn't believe in the concept of basics. Tell me one thing. Who were the part of Triple Entente? Britain, France, then Russia, Italy. Okay. Versus Germany, Austria, Romania, etc. Here, etc. Here. Britain, democracy. Yes, Britain was having democracy. France was having democracy. Italy was having democracy. Do you really think so? Russia is also having democracy. Hmm? Do you really think so? Russia was having democracy? No. Then what was the case with the Russia? At that time, Russia was under the Tsarist regime. Russia was under Tsarist regime. Means absolute monarchy was there. Absolute monarchy. Just imagine, we mentioned about 1789, Louis XVI. Imagine Louis XVI. They were having that, means people of Russia considered their monarch as a god. Absolute monarchy. Nobody is going to ask the question. Do you really think so? Any democratic country, if you are, let's take example of you. I hope you all are rational because civil services made you rational. It's a general assumption. It's not compulsory. If you are not rational, it's okay. But it's a general assumption that you are rational person. Rational in all sense, religious, even in your public life, in your private life. Yes. So if you are a rational person, so can you believe in superstition? Yes, my question is to you. If you are a rational person, can you believe in superstition? No. If anybody wants to convince you through all the mediums, no, no, it is there, you are not believing it, you have to believe this happened with that person, those person and all. Are you going to believe? Of course not, because your ideas are crystal clear. You know that this is a wrong, this is a myth. So, do you want a friendship with that person who believe in superstitions, who believe in black magic? If you're a rational person, of course not, because your ideology is very clear. You have a clear-cut idea. Whatever that person is going to tell you is based on false assumptions. Clear? So ideologically you are clear, so that's why you're not going to believe in that person. It is the same thing with the America. How it is? So let me explain. As here we mentioned Britain, Russia, France, okay, Italy. Russia believed in old monarchy system and USA believed in democracy. In democracy, these are the aspects: liberty, equality, and fraternity. And here, these are not at all allowed. So, whether do you think so? USA is going to take part in this group when one person is still believing this policy, and that's the ideological impediment. That presence of Russia in the war was an ideological impediment for USA to take part in First World War. And sometimes there is a coincidences, and that coincidence happened in the form of Russian Revolution. Post Russian Revolution, February March 1917, known as Menshevik. Then Second Russian Revolution, October November 1917, and this revolution known as Bolshevik, and Bolshevik withdrew from the war. Yes, when Russia withdrew from the war, it provided the opportunity, and impediment, the obstacle was removed. Ideological obstacle was removed and US declared war against Germany. US participated in the First World War. Yes, everyone, is that clear to all of you? How USA participated? Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Or any question is there? Yes, clear? Or still have a doubt? Okay, next, the impact factor is there. Impact. The next we are going to discuss the impact. So before going to the slide, I just want to ask you, impact of First World War. What do you think? Impact of First World War. What do you think? According to you, which were the impact of First World War over the world, over the Europe? Clear? What do you think? The next we are going to discuss the impact of First World War, but before that I just want to ask you, what do you think? What were the impact over the First World War? And one more thing I just want to clarify here. In civil services examination, UPSC believe in analyzing the history. Factual concepts are they can ask in prelims, but mains is all about analyzing the past related to the history. So, how many soldiers were there? Who participated from which front and all? These are not that much important. What is most important? What were the factors? What were the conditions that leads to particular event? Then we are going to analyze the event. Means what were the drawbacks? What were the impact of that particular thing? So in the First World War, we mentioned what were the problems or factors that lead to First World War. Next, we are going to discuss the impact of it. Yes, Ashwini said world trade was suffering from great economic depression. Unemployment was at peak. Okay, yes, go ahead, go ahead. And why I ask this question, I'm not here doing here time pass. I'm asking this question for a purpose, because this impact question is very easy and you do not have to take too much tension of it. Anybody is having a general knowledge can write the answer of it. Just you have to use your common sense. If you have, then you can definitely use it and you will get good marks. Yes, disharmony she mentioned. What about others? Whether yes, good morning everyone. Wake up and answer. What do you think? What were the impact of First World War? Yes, Nilesh, Ashwini, Preeti, Draco. Hmm. Yes, everyone. What do you think? What were the impact of First World War? Rise of dictatorship. Okay. Okay. Yes. What about the rest? Please do not tell me that same answer. It's a school day habit. Hmm. What do you think? Come on, use your common sense. A very basic question other than this. Let's consider any war. Any war. It doesn't related with World War First. It's general. What do you think impact of any War. Yes, what do you think? Impact of any war. Yes, what do you think? Any war, any war. If any particular war is going, just like recently, the war between two countries, Armenia and Azerbaijan, if I'm not wrong, the war is going on. What do you think? Impact of that particular war over that particular country. Yes, Nilesh said inflation. Can you use your common sense? And if you are having that, please use it because it's very uncommon. Don't you think loss of life? Yes, Nilesh, exactly. Loss of life. Very common sense. That is the first impact. Second, second, very common sense. Economy is going to suffer. A very common sense, I am saying. Very common sense. Economy is going to suffer. Ashwini, what she said, trade is going to suffer. Of course, it is a part of it. Then, if economy is going to suffer, unemployment. Clear? Then, then, hmm, think. Unemployment. Impact, normal impact. I just asked you. Initially, I asked you the question related to impact of First World War. Then I realized this you don't know the impact of First World War. You are not using your brain. So I ask you the impact of any war. Yes, scarcity of essential goods. Yes, that is also there. Scarcity. Yes, Bhanupriya said the same thing. Scarcity of essential. Of course, because war is going on, that means all the materials or whatever the resources you have, you're going to divert those resources for the war. So when you're going to divert those resources, there is a scarcity. So these are very simple things. Impact. But when I ask you this question, generally you told me everything in this manner. Whatever the points you have mentioned, I have written, you mention in that manner. So please remember, whenever the word is impact in question paper, UPSC question paper, I am talking about all subjects. When the word is impact, you have to think on this line, at least these three lines: social, political, and economic. When you're going to think on these lines, you will get more number of points. Recently, when we discuss all these things, hardly 5 points we get. But if you're going to think, especially on social impact, then you will get at least 2 points. Political, at least 3 to 4 points. Let's consider 3 to 4 points. And economical, 3 to 4 points. Don't you think so? These are 8 points, and earlier you mentioned 5 points. Clear? So 3 points more, that means you will get more marks. I'm just mentioning a very basic, simple thing to all of you, how you are going to deal with the impact question. Now, impact of First World War. So whatever you said, let's check whether it is based on truth or it is based on assumption only. So what we mentioned earlier, million died or tripled in every war. In every war, people died. But here it is a world war. Many countries participated. So the death ratio or loss of human resources is much more than as compared to any other war. That is, million died here. The million died or became crippled. Clear? That was the problem. Second, problems of serious family disharmony and how it is possible. The displacement, yes, displacement, loss of life means if any particular family is having 5 members, out of 5, 3 died, just 2 left. So this type of family disharmony problem was there, and along with that, this is a very important point, and this point is applicable in the impact of both world war. That is, male-female ratio got disturbed, and how it is so. A very simple thing at that time, you know that world was under patriarchy, means male are going to work, women are going to take care of the family. So men are going to work in army as well, means in military as well. So when the war is going on, when war was going on, male participated, male died. So as I mentioned here, million died. So million male died in this war. So now the male female ratio gets disturbed. Males are very less than female, and this thing was common in both the world wars. Clear? So this is an important factor, and generally we do not think over it. Clear? Next important, just imagine 3 points right now I mentioned. There are minimum points you can find out. Yes, minimum points. Next, we are going to discuss the economic impact. The first economic impact of war is always there. If it is world war or normal war, there is scarcity of essential commodities. And why it is so? I mentioned it because during the war, all the resources diverted to war front. So there is a scarcity of essential commodities. Next, vast unemployment after Second World War, as I mentioned, after First World War. How it is so? Because during the war, mass production was going on. Mass production was going on. This mass production leads to increase in the employment rate. But this is the second aspect of this. End of war. End of war means end of production. And end of production means it is a phase of unemployment. Clear? So vast unemployment. Why it was so? Because during the war, mass production was going on. That's why labor required. So employment was high at that time, and suddenly after the war, everything ends. Clear? And when there is no demand, there is no supply, and when there is no demand and no supply, what about the laborers? What about the workers? Unemployment. Clear this point? Next, world trade receives setback. It's a very common sense. Without having specialized knowledge, you can write it. Because all the countries are engaged in the war, and especially the European countries, and at that time, Europe was what we can say the hotspot for trade and everything related activities. So if you are going to trade with the Britain or Germany, the opponents are going to destroy your ship. So nobody wants to suffer. So it was a setback for world trade, as there was no trade between Asian countries, African countries with European countries. Next, defeated nation has to pay war repression without resources. That is the very important aspect or impact of First World War in economic terms. As everybody knew this thing clearly, after every war, the victors impose the war repression over the defeated country. And they said that you are responsible for war, you wage a war, and because of war we suffered a lot, so you have to pay the penalty. That is the monetary penalty was there. Clear? Now, earlier what was the case that after paying monetary penalty, the issue was resolved. Clear? What happened in the First World War when they asked to pay war reparation at the same time victor countries took their economic resources, took away their resources from themselves. Means for example, if you are earning 1 lakh rupee per month, clear, and you took a loan, so of course you have to repay it. Of course you have to. But what if bank, this is the bank you're going to pay. What if bank convince your employer to end your job? Right now you have 1 lakh salary, 1 lakh salary. You took loan and you are going to repay it through EMI. But what if your bank asks your employer to end your job? Are you in a position to pay back? Yes, are you in a position to pay back your loan? Yes, everyone. What do you think? Are you in a position to pay back your loan if you lost your job? Yes, common sense. Use it. Or is it possible? Some of you can say that yes, it is possible. Common sense, if you are having common sense, the answer is of course no. Don't you think that bank is particularly doing injustice with the person as well as they are going to end the opportunity for themselves as well? Means, don't you think so? It is a double-edged sword for them. It is going to hurt one particular individual, along with that it is going to hurt their vested interest. Now you get it. This happened with the victor countries and the loser countries. As you know that they considered Germany as a war guilty. Clear? They said that you have to pay war reparation. At the same time, they took the territories, mining factories from Germany, mining and factories from Germany. So how it is possible for Germany to pay back? So that leads to serious economic crisis in the country. Clear? Next. So just remember here. Initially we mentioned 3 points. In economics we mentioned 4 points. Another important thing, political aspect. In the political aspect, the political impact, the first political impact is basically creation of new state. Creation of new state. Why? How it is possible? How it is possible creation of new state? Because after French Revolution of 1789, liberty, equality and fraternity was very common. Offshoot of liberty is nationalism, and before that, before 1914, most of the countries in European countries were under monarchy. Yes, before 1914, most of the European countries under monarchy. But these ideas, concepts, revolutionary ideas of liberty, equality, fraternity was prevailed everywhere. People want democracy. People want their own nation state. They do not want to be a part of any empire, because empire is having various number of linguistic people, along with, means linguistic diversity is there, then ethnic diversity is there, and all. So now people want nation state. Clear? So that's why here we mention creation of new state. So very good example of creation of new state is Poland, for Polish people. Clear? Yugoslavia, this we discussed in now already. Yugoslavia, clear? The Slav ethnic people from different area became part of it. So Poland was there, Yugoslavia was there. Clear? Another example, another impact, that is rise of dictators. My question is how? Hmm. Yes. The second point we mentioned, rise of dictators. How? Yes, everyone, please tell me, what do you think? How rise of dictator is an impact of First World War? Hmm. Nilesh said due to the economic depression, people were frustrated. Okay. Don't you think so? India is also having the same situation, that people are economically frustrated due to this pandemic. Yes, I blame to the pandemic. Okay. This led to rise of dictator. Yes, what about others? Nilesh, it's his opinion. What about you? What do you think? How First World War led to or created a favorable situation for rise of dictator? Hmm. Come on. Yes, everyone, please. Yes, what do you think? Well, I have to take the name, because without taking name, you are not going to answer. Yes, Preeti is there, Bhanupriya, Ashwini. Yes, Draco. Hmm. And others. What do you think? Are you there or not? Or if you don't know, please let me know why you are doing time pass. If you know the answer, then please let me know. If you don't know, then why you are acting? You're not in school or college. Because in school or college, most of the people are doing time pass. They just want, they just want to do that. They are not there to learn anything. They are just wasting their time. Here we are not for that. If you know, then please let me know. If you don't know, please tell me so that I can explain. Or you want to keep your knowledge with yourself. Means you do not want to share your ideas with anybody. If it is the case, please let me know. Is that so difficult to answer this question? Yes, everyone. Is that so difficult? If it is, please let me know. Type something or tell me one thing that you do not want me to ask any question to you so that it will save my time as well. Okay, so you are not going to answer. I'm going to reply by myself only. What happened after the First World War? After the First World War, there was a period of economic depression. Kev said there was no government. Let me explain. And also the humiliation from the defeated helped the people like Hitler to mobilize the public opinion. Okay. Let me explain right now. Rise of dictator. How? Economic depression was there. You know, after every war, this is the situation. And we mention why it is so. Because vast devastation. Yes, all the resources are destroyed, loss of life, clear? And earlier the mass production was there, it is a phase of unemployment. So economic depression is there. The second factor was there, that is social harmony get disturbed. Social harmony get disturbed. What Preeti said and the portray themselves like Masiya. Okay. Wait. Along with that, defeated nation suffered humiliation. Defeated nation suffered from humiliation. Clear? It's an international shame for them. Means they declared that the victor country declared that you are criminal. You wage a war against it and you disturb the social harmony in the world. So it was a period of social harmony was disturbed, that we mentioned loss of life, million died, crippled, economic depression, no employment. Don't you think all these all are suggestive of suggestive of no hope phase, depression, as people don't have job, their family life get disturbed, even their nationalistic sentiment it got hurt, depression, that is a period of no hope. People doesn't have hope because everything destroyed. And when there is a period of frustration, this depression can also be termed as it is a period of frustration. And when there is a period of frustration, no hope, anger among the people is there, then that is the most fertile ground for rise of dictators. Why? Why it is most fertile ground? Because dictators are going to provide hope. How? They made lofty promises. When people are frustrated, they fed up with their present condition, they considered that they are hopeless. And at that time, these dictators grab this opportunity. It is the most fertile ground. When people are losing hope, at that time dictators are going to provide a lofty promises that they are going to do this thing, that thing, and all. These lofty promises are so magnificent that people just enjoy it by listening it. Okay, means for example, Hitler. Let's take example of Hitler. What Hitler said, he wants to make Germany great again. People say that okay, we want Germany. We are going to take revenge. So people are agree with that. Clear? He want to form Third Reich. People agree with that. Means whatever they are going to say means dictator basically selling hope. We can mention they are selling dreams to the frustrated and hopeless people, and that's why rise of dictators were there after First World War, because it was a period of frustration in European continent. Very best example we can mention as Hitler, Mussolini. Along with that, there was a dictator in Portugal as well. Clear? So this is the very fertile ground, and what is the reason? Frustration of the masses. Clear this point? Next, emergence of USA in the world scene. That is an important aspect because earlier US followed the policy of isolation. They focuses on trade and trade related activities. They didn't interfere in the world politics. But as you know that because of this war, France and Britain emerged as a victor, but at the same time they suffered losses, economic losses, and USA was having strong economy at that time, and USA supported the European countries. Clear? Though Britain and France emerged as the victor, but they suffered economic losses, and USA earned more profit during the First World War, and that's why it creates an opportunity for USA to enter into world scene. And very best example, that Paris Peace Conference. In the Paris Peace Conference, US President participated, he presented the program, and that program finally led to formation of an international body. Clear? Known as League of Nations. Okay. Next, emergence of new BOP, that is balance of power. New balance of power. So before that, we have to understand what was old. The old balance of power was with European countries, and it is vested with Britain, France, Austria, Russia. Clear? The old balance of power was basically related to the European countries only. The new balance of power is between USA, Britain, and France. Clear? That is a political impact, emergence of new balance of power, and here USA played an important role. Next, spread of nationalism. That is also another important aspect of it, and spread of nationalism, especially in the colonies. How? Because the colonies also participated in First World War. Example, British India also participated, not willfully but by forcefully. We participated in the First World War. Clear? So when we participated, the soldiers realizes one thing, that why European countries are fighting, why Britain was fighting the war. Britain wants to save their freedom. So these soldiers thought the same thing. If freedom is so much dearer to them, and because of that they are waging a war, what about us? Why we are not fighting for our nation state, our freedom? So spread of nationalism was an important impact of First World War and especially in the colonies. Okay. Next, new trends in international relation, and that trend is basically it was set back to the imperialism and how it is so monarchy, the absolute monarchy abolished at many places, and that created a path for democracy. Clear? The new trends in international relation in political aspect, it was a setback for imperialism. Absolute monarchy ended at many places, and that created a background for rise of democracy. And very best example is Germany. Do you know about one republic was formed after First World War? Do you remember the name? And you know that we adopted some good points from that republic in our constitution. If you know it, please let me know in comment box. Okay. Next thing, important thing, acceptance of principle of right of self-determination. Right of self-determination means what? Basically, it gives acceptance to the concept of nationalism or nation state. Means any country wants to form a separate nation state from any empire on the basis of language, on the basis of ethnicity, then they have a choice. Means nobody can impose any restriction over the formation of nation state. So that's important thing, and very best example is Poland. Clear? Yes, Nilesh, exactly. Weimar Republic. Is that clear? So just think about, yes, Ashwini, exactly. So just think about, earlier you were in a position to write 5 to 6 points when I asked you about the First World War, impact of First World War, and let's see, now you are in a position to mention around 12 to 13 points. Don't you think so? You know all these things very well. You knew this thing, but you don't use your brain. Clear? So please use your common sense. These are very small questions. Anybody can answer with little brain. Is there any question, any query related to the political impact, social impact, or particular impact topic? Yes, is that clear? Or do you have any confusion related with any of the point of political, social, or economic? Yes, everyone? Any question, any doubt? Or is that clear? Yes, everyone? Is that clear? Clear? Nobody is having any doubt? Anyone? Okay, good. Next topic in that, Paris Peace Conference. And what's the purpose of it? Of course, the word is written here, peace. After every war, after every war, there should be treaty. Why that treaty is there? Earlier we already mentioned, to establish peace. Because after war, the another important aspect is prevailing of peace. And how that peace is going to establish? By signing a treaty. Treaty is basically terms and conditions which both the countries are agreed. both the countries. If any country is not going to agree, then that is not going to provide peace. So after every treaty, after every war, there should be treaty, and the main purpose of treaty is to provide peace. So why this conference was there? Because there are many countries involved in that. Clear? In the First World War, many countries involved in that. So they organized a conference in Paris. So that's why known as Paris Peace Conference. Intention was very clear: to provide peace, to establish peace in worldwide and avoid any further war in future. Clear? So who were the participants in that? Of course, the victor countries. Britain was there, France was there, then USA was there, and of course loser Italy, the victor country, loser country, Germany was there, Austria was there, Turkey was there. Clear? So these countries were participant in that. Now when these countries gather together, they discuss over the past, they analyze the past, and they made a policy in such a manner that they considered there will not be any war in future. So Paris Peace Conference, what were the things present at that time? So first thing, it gives new character to the peace talk. New character. So whenever the word new is there, then please remember, you should know the old one. So please read this thing. New character to the peace talk. And why it is so? Because it established the because of clash of personalities, clash of national interest, and materialism overshadowed idealism. Let me explain. When you want to establish, I'm going to explain this point later. The first point I want to mention in the old character. When you want to establish a peace, then what is the essential thing required? First thing, openness. Don't you think so? Openness. Second, you should be ready for negotiation. Third, mutual respect. Mutual respect in terms of opinion, means whether they agree or not, still you have to listen to them. Provide equal opportunity to express views. Don't you think so? And yes, Nilesh said consensus. Consensus is also important. And most important, victors. Means if one country is there, no problem at all. But if the many stakeholders are there, then they should have mutual understanding. If many stakeholders are there, then they have mutual understanding. Don't you think so? This should be the case. Yes, everyone. Don't you think so? This should be the case. This has to be there. Yes, everyone. What do you think? This has to be there. Yes. What I mentioned, openness, negotiation, ready for negotiation, mutual respect, consensus, mutual understanding, it should be there. But what happened in Paris Peace Conference? The victors were having a different thing, that is clash of personalities. The three people were there mostly, one from Britain, one from France, and other from USA. Britain represented by Prime Minister, France represented by President, and US also represented by President. You know that who was the president? Woodrow Wilson was the president of USA, and he was more idealistic. French president was guided with the in means he adopted a character to take revenge from Germany. His idea was very clear. He wants Germany to be subdued from all the aspects, and Britain was guided by selfish interest. Selfish interest means they want to grab as much as territory possible from Germany and other states. Clear? So clash of personality was very clear because this person was idealistic, and here the clash of national interest were also there. And you know that the French president was in whimsical in nature. That is also the problem. They doesn't respect each other. Forget about the loser country. They doesn't respect each other. So that's why it creates a problem. They don't have harmony. Means these people doesn't have harmony among themselves. They doesn't have harmony among themselves. So how it is possible for them to create a harmony in the conference? Clear? So this peace talk was basically related to this particular point we mentioned: clash of personalities, clash of national interest. Clear? Next, materialism overshadowed idealism. Materialism overshadowed idealism. So idealism means what? Idealism is basically means whether you are a victor or a loser. What is required? Dignity, respect. Whatever the point we mentioned, dignity, respect, mutual understanding. That is important. That is idealism. But here the materialism is overshadowed idealism means materialistic gains, means gain of territory or to take revenge. That is most important for them rather than idealism. Let me explain with the example of Germany. When Germany was declared war guilty, at that time they didn't provide Germany to present their case. Don't you think it's an injustice? Means, for example, if you believe in court, yes, we all believe in court. So if you believe in the court, so don't you think you're going to expect one thing from court, that whatever the crime you have committed, you expect one thing from court, that is court should allow you to present your case. Court should listen what you are saying in your defense. That is important. That is very much important, because without knowing intention of any person, if you are declaring the punishment, then it is not considered as a justice. Clear? So it was a case that when these victor countries declared Germany as a war guilty, then at that time they didn't allow Germany to present her case. This is the first thing. Second thing, they humiliated Germany through Treaty of Versailles, and the most important humiliation was basically they didn't allow German representative of Germany to sit on chair. While signing an agreement, they were standing. They didn't provide chairs to them. So don't you think so? It's forget about idealism. Don't you think so? It is against the principle of humanity. At least we have this courtesy to provide chair, to offer something to them, but it was not at all the case. because this conference was fully guided with the idea of selfishness and to take revenge from Germany in all the aspects. Clear? So it was the case. So this new character was basically clashes of personality, clash of national interest, means French national interest was different. So here, if we mention the national interest of Britain, what Britain won? Territory. What France won? Weak Germany. And what America won? What America won? Dominance in world affairs. Clear? Now, what happened? Italy and Germany, they came out of conference with the dissatisfaction. It's okay if we consider Germany is walk out from that conference dissatisfied, means they came out of this conference with dissatisfaction. That is very normal because this treaty, this Paris Peace Conference, humiliated them. They didn't left any opportunity to humiliate them. They utilized all the opportunities. That's okay. But what about Italy? Italy was a victor country. Why Italy was not satisfied with that? It's just because whatever the promises, pre-World War promises, were not fulfilled. Why Italy was dissatisfied? Because pre-World War promises were not fulfilled. Whatever the territory offered to Italy, it was too small as compared to their investment in the war. So that's why Italy was not satisfied. And why Germany? We already mentioned Germany was vanquished. Germany was vanquished. And those who don't know the meaning of vanquish, you can use Google. Germany was vanquished means they utilizes all the opportunities to humiliate Germany, and that's why Germany was came out as a dissatisfied nation. Don't you think so that the word is Paris Peace Conference? It is there to establish peace. And how it is possible that after the treaty, countries are came out as a dissatisfied nation? Don't you think they are going to take revenge? Of course, they are going to take revenge. And that reaction, because of dissatisfaction, was there among Italy and Germany. A national reaction in the form of fascism and Nazism. How it is so, we are going to discuss in the topic fascism and Nazism. Clear? So, a national reaction from Italy and Germany in the form of fascism and Nazism. Is that clear? Yes, is that clear to all of you? Yes, everyone, is that clear? Shall we move ahead? Yes, shall we move ahead? Okay. Now, Treaty of Versailles. This Treaty of Versailles with Germany means victor states and Germany. The Treaty of Versailles. Versailles is the same palace. You know, we discussed that during the French Revolution. Louis XVI and his queen was taken from Versailles to Paris. It is the same palace, and in that palace the treaty was signed, so that's why the word Treaty of Versailles. Victor states and Germany. This treaty is basically related to Germany. Before mentioning the points related to the Treaty of Versailles, what exactly the nature of Treaty of Versailles was there, we are going to discuss. The nature of Treaty of Versailles. First point, it was guided by selfish aims, economic and territorial gains. Okay, it was guided by selfish, here we mention, selfish aims, economic gains and territorial gains. And why it was so? Because they want Germany. And basically it was the intention of France, they want weak. They want Germany to be weak so that Germany could not pose any challenge in front of them. So that's why how they can make this country weak, all the aspects, destroy its economy, humiliation, taking territory, okay, in all aspects, economically, territorially, humiliation means all the aspects they use. And why it is so, they just want Germany to be weak. They divided Germany. They divided the Germany, they divided the German people and redistributed this territory. Clear? How? It is also how it was the taking away the territory. That means here we mentioned they divided Germany and redistributed that territory among the victor countries. Clear? Second point. What's the nature? Second point. It is based on the idea of security against Germany. Strong Germany is always a challenge in front of France and other states. What they want? They want weak Germany so that they cannot pose any challenge. Next, nature. Idealism lost relevance in the Treaty of Versailles, and I gave the example that they didn't offer chair while signing the treaty, so it is a humiliation. They didn't allow Germany to speak. They just imposed the terms and conditions over Germany. And what was the last one? This treaty was out and out anti-German in character. Means they didn't consider Germany is worthy to say anything. They said that you are guilty, so you have to pay the fine for it in all the aspects. The treaty was out and out anti-German in character. Clear? So here the nature of Treaty of Versailles, guided by selfish interest, all the aspects of it, based on security against Germany. Next we mention about idealism lost relevance, and finally we mention it is anti-German in character. Next, the clauses in the Treaty of Versailles. Clauses in the Treaty of Versailles. The first most important, and that was a bone of contention between France and Germany for a long time, that is Alsace and Lorraine. Yes, do you remember that we mentioned the Treaty of Frankfurt? We mentioned that in 1870-71. Those who attended all the classes, they can connect themselves. The Treaty of Frankfurt 1870-71. At that time we mentioned Bismarck took Alsace and Lorraine. These were the two provinces of France. Bismarck took away these provinces. And from then onward only there was an enmity prevailed between France and Germany. So now here it is the case. This was a bone of contention and France do not want to lose this opportunity. So Alsace and Lorraine returned to France. Clear? Second, Germany held guilty for a war crime. They said that Germany is responsible for war. Germany is responsible for war. That is there. Without without allowing Germany to present their case. Next, relation between Austria and Germany forbidden. Means it is said that there should not be any friendship between Austria and Germany. Clear? No friendship, because these two were the dual alliance, part of dual alliance, a strong friend, or we can say they have a strong bond. So they said that no, you should not have. Next, they capped on military strength. Capped on military strength means what? They reduce the army personnel. Yes, they reduce the number of army personnel. Clear? A cap on military strength. What's the benefiction, or what's the advantage of it? What do you think? What's the advantage of it? What's the advantage? The advantage is very simple. If you have less army, then do you really think so that you can wage a war against any country? Of course not. Of course not. You cannot wage a war. Why? Because you don't have that much strength. If you are having strength, then you can take enmity with any country. Clear? Resources spent could be less. Yes, 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 yes. Next thing here. Germany should not maintain any navy or air force. Don't you think they are going to cripple Germany in all the aspects? Why they don't want Germany to keep navy? Because in future Germany might pose challenge to Britain. So they were having that fear. So they don't want it. Clear? So they don't want Germany to maintain air force or navy. Next, demilitarization of Rhineland. As you know, this is a France, suppose, and this is a Germany. Rhine Valley is there. Here it is there. So they said that Germany should not keep any army in this area. Germany should not keep any army. Okay. Next point. Germany has to pay war reparation, and for that German mines were taken away from them for 15 years under the League of Nations. German mines taken away and given to France as a war reparation for 15 years. So, as we mentioned, Germany lost their territory. Why? They divided Germany, and this means redistributed their territory. In that, Germany lost their fertile tract. Along with that, now they are taking away the mining area of Germany and given to France to repay the war repression for 15 years. Now Germany doesn't have fertile land. Germany doesn't. They lost their rich mining areas. So how it is possible for Germany to stand again? So they crippled Germany on all aspects, economic aspect, of course, political aspect, yes, and along with that, here we mentioned the points that Germany should not maintain navy or air force. Along with that, there was a military gap, and yes, yes, of course, the one more point Ashwini mentioned, that 8 point we can mention here: disarmament. Disarmament of Germany. Clear? Disarmament of Germany is also another important factor. There are 3-4 more points are there, but these all are important points in the Treaty of Versailles. Alsace and Lorraine returned to France. Germany held guilty for war crime. Relationship between Austria and Russia. Along with that, yes, one more point I just want to mention. If you allow me, then that point is very important. And suppose that point, colonies of Germany taken away. Important point. Germany, they lessened the burden. They said that Germany is having too much burden of these colonies. Why you are taking so much burden? We are here. We can take care of it. German colonies are taken away from them, of Africa. Don't you think so? They basically taken everything from Germany. Yes, don't you think so? They taken away everything from Germany, and how it is possible for Germany to stand? Forget about to take revenge. Most important thing, they at least allow these victor countries at least allow to Germany to stand by their own. All these terms and conditions are in such manner that the Treaty of Versailles basically crippled Germany. Clear? Clear to everyone? One more point I just want to explain. I forgot that point to explain here in the impact. One more impact, economic impact I want to mention, and that point is very much important, and that is problem of economic reconstruction. This particular point is important for impact of First World War only. This point is not relevant for impact of First Second World War. This point, because we are human beings, and we know that if we want to avoid any mistake, then we are not going to repeat it. That's our nature. That's why we are human. That is the basic difference between us and animals. We have brain and we use it. So we as a human being committed this mistake during the First World War, but we avoided it in Second World War. All the mistakes we avoided, and this is very particular related to economic term. Economic reconstruction, the problems of economic reconstruction and why it is required. So what was the problem? The economic reconstruction, as we mentioned, the First World War, they destroyed everything. They destroyed everything. Now, the victors and loser countries, and basically we are talking about the losers. These losers country, they want money, because to run the economy, to run the country, you required money. And at that time, what I mentioned, their fertile land tracts taken away from them, their mining areas taken away from them, their colonies taken away from them. So how it is possible for any country, and especially we can mention the example of Germany, how it is possible for them to rebuild their economy? For that they required some aid from outside. Without economic support, it is not possible for them to stand. And for that reason, what is important? Health. You know that if any one of you is suffering from any particular thing, as for example, if you met with accident and you required 1 lakh rupees and you have to pay that tomorrow, it's not possible for me or anybody to pay that much amount of money alone. But if we follow the policy of pulling money from all the sides, either your 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 20 rupees, whatever maybe the rupees is there with you, do you really think so? It's very difficult. It's very simple to collect 1 lakh rupees if others are going to support you. This is very common example. If any country suffered from any natural calamity, for example, earthquake is there, volcanic eruption is there, yes, any kind of. So the neighboring state and others also supported by providing them monetary help or all other forms of help so that that country is going to rebuild themselves. It happened in Kerala, it happened in Nepal, it happened all over the world. So that is the case. What was the problem in this economic reconstruction? Losers didn't have resources, but other countries are not going to support them. Why? Because of fear. They were having fear of Germany. They thought that if they are going to provide resources to the Germany, Germany is going to be stronger and it will be the future threat for the country. And it creates a more problem because of the suspicious nature of the neighboring state towards Germany. It creates a more problem. Why? Because Germany didn't have money. They desperately wanted to restore their economy, to rebuild their country, but at that time nobody supported them, and that's why it creates a huge problem for Germany as well as huge problem for economic reconstruction of Europe. And you know that as human nature, the people, if the people doesn't support us in the time of distress, we always remember them and we always have that thing in mind. When I required help, these people refused to give that. So whatever the Treaty of Versailles was there, it was a humiliation, and they were dissatisfied. This problem of not helping Germany and other loser states also create much worsened situation, and that's why it create a fertile ground for rise of dictators. Clear? Is that clear to you? Yes, everyone. Is that clear to you? Any question? Any question? Any doubt? Yes, everyone. Is there any question? Any doubt? Any query? Yes. Any question? Any doubt? Yes, everything is clear. Okay. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much for your valuable time. And if you are having any query, any question, then this is my Telegram channel. You can connect with me through this channel, or you can connect with me all other social media platforms. And thank you very much for your valuable time. Today we are going to meet at 11 o'clock for IR. Today we are going to discuss the second part of Indo-China relation. And yes, of course, and once again, I'm really sorry for the inconvenience caused by me yesterday. Today we are going to take the lecture special class at 9 o'clock on the app, and it is related with the American Revolution. Yesterday it was not possible due to technical error, but today we are going to continue. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Have a good day, great day.